Instagram stories are one of the best ways to connect with your followers, show off your brand's personality, and inspire action. Stories are the perfect space to get creative, build relationships, and share updates instantly. So, this is part one of stories, just sharing the basic of stories and also more using your stories for engagement at the start so that you can get used to consistently posting stories. Part two later on in the modules will be more for selling in the stories. Why Instagram stories matter. First of all, to boost engagement. Instagram stories are a great way to get your audience involved with your content. You can use their interactive features like polls, quizzes, question stickers, and it makes them feel part of the conversation. The more your followers engage, the more your content gets prioritised in their feed. Plus, it is good to see how your audience responds to any of your content. Shows authenticity. Stories are the perfect place to show the real side of you, your brand, whether it's behind the scenes look, a day in your life, sharing what you're up to. Authenticity builds trust, and also remember, people connect with people, not perfection. So it is a faceless page. You don't necessarily have to, show your face or anything like that, but try and show a bit of you in your stories. Use it to drive traffic. Anything you've got to promote, your stories can get eyes on it. You can use link stickers, strong call to actions, and obviously pair it with good visuals. However, that's not what we want to cover in this module, but stories are where we do drive the traffic to sales. You build relationships. The stories allow you to have a real connection with your audience, and it can result in people replying to a story and building connections in the DMs. You can have Q&A sessions, or even just sharing any shout outs or sharing someone else's stories. Make sure followers feel seen and valued. The kind of back and forth interaction does build loyalty over time. And finally, stories help stay on top of your followers' mind. Consistency is the key with stories. If you're posting regularly, your profile stays at the top of your followers' feed, and that means you're never out of sight. So, any quick updates or fun moments, just anything to keep your audience engaged and thinking about you when they click on, see your profile picture, and then they click on to the stories. So that cycle just keeps on going. For your Instagram stories, you can get as creative as you want or keep it as simple as you want. It's up to you. But I normally recommend to keep it along the lines of your branding, especially at the start. Now, Inner Bloom has lots of story templates inside it that you can use for background. At the very start, I wouldn't use any salesy information on it. It's just maybe the background that you would want to use. You can, that at the moment, we're purely doing stories for engagement and to keep our account active and get used to doing stories. We're not selling at the moment. So when you put into Canva Instagram story, if you want to go there for your templates, there's lots of, well, again, there's over 20,000, lots of ideas there. So you can keep it to your branding colours. If you're putting on a morning quote, I've seen lots with like coffee cups, different styles. It's up to you. There's like a good morning one there. You could change that, put different backgrounds in it. In fact, wait to just kind of see this one. So say you wanted to customize it. So what you would do, you can click on that, and even if you just changed it, and then you could change the colours, put your branding colours in it, change the font, but that lets you see how easy it is to change the the story on it. If we just go back to see if I can get that, it's not, there's the templates there, it's not letting me do that. Go back to templates, create blank, and search story templates. So there's lots there. So let's see if they would do affirmation story, if we get anything like that. So look at that. Do you know how easy is that? Just to kind of change the affirmation, change the background, and that can be ready to go on. Just like obviously change the colour there to whatever your colour would be. You can change the font as well, but you don't need to overthink it too much. And what you can do as well is save it. You can repurpose stories. Not everybody sees your stories all the time. You're getting new followers, new eyes on your story. So never be afraid of repurposing the content or using it again. So you can save it in here, save it on your phone, so that even days that you're busy, you have got something to put on. Stories, especially at the beginning, you just even need to put one on a day. Have them done, do them at the weekend or a Sunday, already saved in Canva, and every morning you can just download it or upload it to Instagram. Don't make this complicated at the start. We're really just wanting a bit of fun engagement, and be putting something on our stories. Story ideas, go to my favourite place, ChatGPT. And I've just put an example. I have an Instagram quote page about whatever your quote page is about. You can also give it more information, what your target audience is, or anything you want. Just put your quote page is about. Can you give me story content ideas for 14 days that will encourage engagement from my followers? And there it's gave lots of ideas. A poll, self-love poll, affirmation slide, Q&A, mini quiz, fill in the blank, this or that, myth versus fact. So lots of ideas to start with. So like say the self-love poll, that's a great idea to have. Make it easy. All you do would be to say, can you give me 7 more self-love polls? You know, don't overthink this. Just, there you go. Lots of ideas that you can then transfer onto your story template, or a note of them when you put the sticker on, when you put this whole sticker on, which will cover when you're uploading a story. That's when you put the stickers on, the slides. So many options there. You know, what's that? Myth versus fact. You can ask for another 7 alternatives to myth versus fact. The resources you have here at your fingertips, they're endless. They really are. And it doesn't take that much time when you're doing this, and you can just transfer that information onto your stories. The other thing I'd say as well, always be sharing wins, your growth. Always be putting that on your stories as well. And then once it's on your stories, you can save that to highlights, which I'll cover in another module. But definitely always be sharing wins in your story. Instagram app, and the middle plus button, if you click on that and go to story, that's you in the stories. So you can either just create, if you press the 2 letters there, that's your create, if you want, and you can change the colour of that one. But what I normally do is go to the stories, and if you go to the left hand side, you can see a little square, and that's where you can upload your story templates. So I've got templates there, and I've got mine on my phone, story templates. So as you can see, this one has got the logo for the Online Success Queens. So this is a plain one that I use sometimes if I want to just keep it all branded, so you can do that. So the first button up the top is where you can type whatever you want to put in, and right along there, if you click on that, that gives you all the different types of fonts. Next button's the colours of it, and you can also, if you go to the one at the end, that'll change the background or without a background, so that's the one at the end. This one here is, sorry, this one here should move it along, yeah, type, pop, if you want it to do some sort of, just put that off if you don't, and again, that one there will move it along if you want it in the centre, the end, whatever, and this one if you want a sort of background for it. So that's that one. It's just a case of playing about with it, same as anything new, and you'll get the ones that you want to use. The next one is your stickers, so that's where you'll be using in here a lot for your engagement. So if you want a poll, then that's where you ask the question, what do you think? So, you know, put that in there. You can type in there as well. If you want to add another one, you just type in there. So that's for a poll. What other ones get good engagement? Like, so ask a question there. You just write it in, and you can change the emoji so that that's asking for an interaction. Even just that one's just a sticker. Lots of other, if you want to ask a question, then just ask me a question. You can change that as well, ask what you want in there, and that gives a response. So that button there is where you're going to get all your engagement stickers in there. So that have a wee look in there. The next one obviously is the music. If you want to put in music, there's not the same amount of music options showing as there is for a reel, but there's still quite a few, and some of them, as you can see, if they've got the little arrow pointing, that's a trending audio. You can do filters if you wanted for that, that's the filter one. You can save it. So I do that sometimes if it's one and I've written something that I might be using again. I would just save that to my phone, and next time I'm putting on another story, I've got it saved, and it's just to save work and to get organised. You can draw on it as well if you wanted to draw, like, you know, that's obviously not a great colour, but say you wanted to, that one's, no, it's not letting me draw over the actual boxes, but if you'd uploaded something that you wanted to draw around to emphasise, then that's all your pencils there. So that's basically how easy it is to do stories. You would just click the next one. If you wanted to add to Facebook, that's where you would do it. And you're just about ready to share. And before you go, just like you see the add to highlights, I'm going to cover highlights in another module, but if you were going to add it to your highlights, that's where you would do it, and click on which highlight you would want to add it to. So that's what you would do for that.